Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well indeed. You can just see in the background place I'm staying whilst I'm here in Northern Ireland. I just thought I'd go for a quick walk before the heavens open, get a 10-minute bit of exercise. As I talk to you about Gvardiol and ask what the heck's happening with the Gvardiol deal, because I think it's no secret that City want him. I think it's no secret that he wants to come to Manchester City. And in all these big deals, yes, I guess behind the scenes, even though they're not supposed to, the players' parties have probably spoken to City's parties and they've agreed terms of a contract. But what hasn't been agreed between RB Leipzig and Manchester City is a fee. And that seems to be holding things up. I can't think of any other reason for this hold up. It's been weeks. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks. We're almost at the start of a new season. We've got the Community Shield. It's next weekend, isn't it? So it's not far away. And then the game against Burnley on, I think it's the 11th of August. We're not far away from that at all. And as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure the City hierarchy as well, when you want to get a player in, you want him in as soon as possible. You want the deal done. You don't want to be messing about like this. He should have been off with his new teammates on the tour to the Far East. He should have been bonding with them. He should have been working out how to play. Pep should have been able to utilise him even a little bit here and there in games to get him used to the new systems and the new players, his teammates and everything else. So I'm really disappointed. Really am disappointed. But at the end of the day, you got to trust what Cheeky does. Cheeky Begaris and our sporting director. You got to trust what Ferran Soriano, our chief executive, does. You've got to trust what Pep does, okay? Because if we're all being honest about it, they haven't done too badly over the last few years, have they? Now, yeah, things are going to be messed up because I think as soon as Gvardiol comes, as soon as he arrives, I think Laporte probably is leaving. I've said it many times. He started 11 league games last season. 11 league games, that's all. And he came on as a substitute in one other. He figured in 12 league games in the whole season. 12 appearances in the league out of 38 games. That's nothing. That's a signal to you. And one of the reasons he played, because of injuries. Aki was injured for a while. I think Johnny Stones was injured for a while. So to think you're only getting games because other people are injured, not because you're so blooming good that you can't be left out. And unfortunately for Aymeric Laporte, so cars coming by, don't really get knocked down. Unfortunately for Aymeric Laporte, he's not considered one of the top centre-backs at Manchester City anymore. He's behind the likes of Ake, Akanji, John Stones, Diaz, and out wide because he can play left back. Others are going to be preferred. We had Cancelo when he's about, and if Cancelo stays, that's probably given even less opportunity for Laporte to get in the team. Whether Walker stays or goes, I don't think that it matters. We've got Rico Lewis coming through, who's going to play out wide, so he's going to take up a place there. Even though it's not in direct competition with Aymeric Laporte, it's giving him Pep alternatives. It's giving him that extra flexibility, that Pep can turn to Rico Lewis and play him as one of the four at the back, but then play him in midfield really, and that makes it really difficult for your man Aymeric Laporte to get a game. So I think as soon as Gvardiol comes, Aymeric Laporte leaves. That'll help. We don't need to help balance the books, because if you've seen some of the videos I've done recently on the income we've got coming in from the sale of players and the sale of academy players, we're in a very, very healthy financial position. We don't need to sell Aymeric Laporte to make ends meet or balance the books or anything like that. So that's not a consideration for us. But I just think as soon as Gvardiol comes, Laporte goes down the pecking order one more spot. and he's off. He's what, 29? I think still 29 or 30 years old. Prime of his life. He cannot be behind Gvardiol and the other guys next season. As I said, he only figured in. He only had 12 league appearances this season, and that was due to partly, I think, mainly due to injuries of other players, not to his fantastic form. So he'll be gone. So why is this? Is there a hold-up? Well, we've seen with other transfers, and we've seen the way City operate. City don't want to overpay for players. Okay, they generally in the past, if a player's too expensive or the price suddenly rises, or somebody starts asking for more money, City walk away. They have a limit. Look at, I'm going to talk about Declan Rice in a different aspect, but once the price got to a certain level, City said, no, it's not that we can't afford it, it's more than we want to spend. So they didn't go down that route of competing with Arsenal for Declan Rice. But West Ham were very clever, and they did it right way. Arsenal went in with a bid, whatever, cheapskate bid, low ball, 60 million, 65 million, whatever it was. West Ham said, no, we want £100 million. Arsenal came back, another low ball offer. West Ham said, no, we want £100 million. Eventually, Arsenal complied. They offered that £100 million and £5 million of add-ons. And as soon as they did that, hey, it's done. Deal is done. Okay. Same with RB Leipzig. They're not desperate for the money. RB Leipzig are turning around and saying, they'll be turning around and saying, this is what we want. They sold Nkunku. I can't remember, they sold somebody else. They got plenty of money in. It's not as if they're strapped for cash. It's not as if they have to sell. It's not as if, for the money reasons or anything else, for financial reasons. So they're going to stick to their guns and say, this is what we want. This is what we'll take. Same as Brighton. Brighton are doing that with Chelsea over Caicedo. Chelsea keep coming back and offering money. Brighton say, no, we don't actually need the money. We pulled your pants down last year over Cucurella. We've sold McAllister to Liverpool. Brighton are flush with cash. They don't need the money, and in fact they'd rather keep Caicedo for next season. He's got a new contract, and they, I think they're in the Europa Conference League. They want to keep their better players, otherwise you're just eventually going to end up like Southampton or Leicester. You sell your best players like Southampton did, eventually it catches up with you. So there's no way that Brighton are going to let him go, Caicedo go for under what he's worth. And Chelsea eventually will have to come back like Arsenal did, and if they want him, pay the money. That's what they've got to do. And it's going to be the same with City. City paid 100 million for Grealish. Yeah, that's what the release clause was. Villa wouldn't sell him for any lower. They said, nope, we don't want to sell him. That's it. But we got around that by utilising that, release clause. And I think it's probably going to end up being the same with Gvardiol. Leipzig are going to ask for their money, and City are going to have to decide, is it worth it? Now, one good thing about this, and one reason why City might raise their offer, is because I don't think Leipzig have done anything wrong. They've just pretty much said, this is what we want. Now, if they're moving the goalposts, that's a problem. We've seen that before. We've seen, usually on the player or agent side, City were interested in Fred, something happened there. They were interested in Alexis Sanchez. They asked for too much money, it got daft. They were interested in Jorginho, we got done over there. But City will walk away from deals if they feel the price is too high, or if they feel someone's doing the dirty on us. Okay, so in this case, it really does depend how much City want Gvardiol and whether City are prepared to pay £100 million. I'm a little bit surprised, because I would have thought that we would have made a decision and got it done one way or the other. One way or the other, I thought would have done it and got it done quite quickly, so that we can move on. Rather than this has been going on pretty much all summer long. We've been waiting for this deal to go through, and whatever happens, okay, this is why I want Gvardiol. He's young, 21 years old, and I honestly believe he will make our team better. Whether it's our first team or our squad, but he will make us better, and he will elevate us higher than what Laporte can currently do. Okay, Laporte isn't even getting in the side. Gvardiol will either get in the side, pushing others out, which will make us better, or push them to be much better themselves. We saw with Kyle Walker, once we had Cancelo who could play on the right and Rico Lewis, Walker improved his game. People step up when they're under pressure, and sometimes people drop off when they're not under any pressure for their position. I said it before with Sterling, when he had no real pressure for his position, he didn't need to perform. And whether that's the reason or not, he didn't perform, in my opinion, for the last couple of seasons that he was with us. So Gvardiol will make, I'm pretty sure of this, he will make our first team better, he'll make our squad better. If he gets into our first team, then someone who was part of the first team last season drops to the bench. Someone who was considered better than Laporte drops to our bench. So overall, we're getting stronger. But I just wish we could get this done one way or the other, so we know what's going on. Not just us as fans. Yes, it's important to us as fans, but it's more important to the team, to Pep and everybody else to get, if he's coming, get him in. Get him in and get him integrated with the boys. If he's not coming, then see what we have to do. Is Laporte going to stay? What's going to happen there? Is Laporte going to be unhappy that basically we're waiting for Gvardiol to come for Laporte to leave? Maybe Laporte wants to fight for his position. I really doubt that. But I just want something to be done sooner rather than later, and so that we can move on with or without Gvardiol. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around Blues.